Alright, we're back outside. I kind of like doing these videos where I'm just standing here talking out in nature. It's 10:30 right now. Very, very beautiful day. Not too hot, not too cold, and I'm standing in the shade, and it's perfect. Birds are singing, trees are green, grass is green, leaves blowing in the wind. It's beautiful. But today I wanted to talk about a very, very important subject when it comes to trading and when it comes to being a man or being someone of the male gender in trading, meaning you have a wee. So I just wanted to clarify, our generation's kind of cooked on the whole gender thing, but if you are a man trying to trade, there are many common struggles that we will have because we are men and the way that we think. And today I just wanted to kind of cover those struggles, and it may be unclear to you, even though you're experiencing the same problems, it may be unclear to you why, so maybe I can help you understand why, and then you can begin to solve those problems. Or maybe you just you're not aware of it, and now you can learn more about yourself and more about trading. Or maybe you're just here to just listen. You don't have to believe everything that I say, but I appreciate your time for listening. But I have my other phone here with my notes just so I don't forget anything. But the first thing that I wanted to talk about, probably the most important thing out of the three, I have three things again. So number one is pride, which I think is the most important thing. Number two is ego, and I'll talk about that. And then the third one is greed, and always wanting to measure up to other people, and always compare your success to other people. That's also just like being humble too. But we'll talk about that later. Let me add that to the notes. But first things first, most important thing I think is pride. And it's very interesting because trading, the concept, the habits that you need in order to be successful in trading, a lot of them like directly, it's like I don't know the word for it, but it directly goes against like what you're supposed to believe as a man, and even as a human being, but especially as a man, because we're talking about pride. And these kind of things date back all the way to the ancient wars when people were fighting with swords and shields. You never, as a man, you're always supposed to go down fighting to your last breath, with your sword drawn to your last breath. You don't want to go out just giving up, or just go out sadly. You always want to make sure that you go out strong and do what you're supposed to do, because that's what you're supposed to do as a man. But the thing about that is that in trading, when you try and do that against the markets, you will get punished. And for example, you take a loss, and then you want to try and get it back, and then you take another loss, and then it's like, now what do? Because now you're faced with the choice to either step away from the charts and go enjoy the rest of your day, or you can keep fighting and keep going until you have nothing else to trade with. Keep fighting because you don't want to give up. You don't want to succumb to the markets, because that will mean that the markets are better than you and the markets beat you, and you can't accept that loss, because as a man, you just want to keep fighting. You just want to keep going. and that's how you blow your account. You have to let go of your pride, man. You can't do that in the markets, because the markets will always humble you. The markets will always be better than you. The markets will always be over you. And yeah. Dude on a bike just passed by. But yeah, you gotta let go of your pride, bro. Because your pride will be the thing that's holding you back. And it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard taking that punch from the market, and then you take another trade, and then the market kicks you down to the ground, and then you're like, damn, what do I do now? And you're like, all right, I'll try this once more. And then boom, the market stomps on your head. Now what? You're just gonna sit there, and then the market's like, yeah, bitch, get up, bitch. And then you're just sitting there like, what do I do? You're gonna get back up? You're gonna keep fighting, or what? Huh? Blazing. All right, back to what I was saying. I might just cut that out. I don't know. I might keep it in there. But back to what I was saying. The market beating you up. The market's on top of you, just man, just pounding you in. You just gotta take it. Pause. But you just gotta sit there, get up, and walk away, bro. You gotta be mature enough to be able to just get up and walk away. And that is probably one of the hardest things to do when it comes to trading. That skill alone will save you so much pain and so much money, but most importantly, it'll save you a lot of pain and a lot of emotional scarring, just by simply getting up and walking away. Because if you can do that, if you can know yourself well enough to know when to get up and walk away, and know when enough is enough, that is probably the most important skill that is required in trading. That I think, at least. What comes with that is also just knowing that every day is a new day. Every trading day is a new day. Today won't be the last day the markets are open. This won't be the last week the markets are open. This won't be the last month the markets are open. The markets will always be here. There's always tomorrow. There's always next week. There's always next month. So why are you sitting in your chair or standing up at your desk trying to put all your chips on the table, bro? Like, why are you doing that? It doesn't make sense. And I know you're agreeing with me right now, like, yeah, that doesn't make any sense. But in the moment, when you're in front of those charts and you took those couple losses, are you still thinking the same way as you are now? Chances are you're probably not. And you have to figure out why you aren't. Because you have to figure out what you're thinking about in those moments. For me, I'm thinking like, it was like, damn, I just took this loss. How can I get back to break even? That was my those were my initial thoughts after taking a loss previously. And I had to question myself. I was like, why do I want to get back to break even so badly? Why do I need to finish the day in profits? And I asked myself that, and the answers that I came up with was because I wanted to, me taking a loss didn't seem like I was making progress in trading. And that is just a false belief that every trader needs to get out of their head. But that's how I was thinking before. Because how does me losing money today, how does that equate to me making progress and growing as a trader? And it didn't make any sense to me before. And that's why I would always try and force my way into back to break even or back to profits, simply because I believe that ending the day in drawdown had nothing to do with me growing and becoming a better trader. And it was until I realized that accepting a loss and ending the day at break even or in a loss is okay. And it was to the point where I would even be upset when I had small profits or I didn't meet my expectations for the day or for that trade of how much I should have made or how much I could have made. And that is another thing in itself. We're gonna kind of transition into ego here. I feel like I've covered mostly everything for pride. Mainly just not knowing when to walk away. You have to know yourself, know your thinking habits, know your thinking patterns, and know when it's best for you to walk away. But back to what I was saying earlier, when you don't meet those expectations that you set for yourself going into the market, you will beat yourself up mentally. And as a man, I feel like we tend to have this ego where we think that we are just like we're special, and that we are better than we're better than we really are. And we think that anyone who steps in front of us, they're gonna be a victim to us. We're not gonna be the victim to them because it's ego. We're better than everyone else. But when you try and do that with the markets, oh man, it's not gonna work out. And when you set those high expectations for yourself because you think that you're better than you really are, you're gonna go into such a negative mental space because you're gonna be like you're gonna feel worthless because in your eyes you should have been able to do that, but instead you just got completely wrecked, and now you're just sitting there. Oh my, this dog is actually pissing me off. You're just sitting there after you thought you were gonna do so well. You're like, oh man, I'm gonna come into the markets, I'm gonna destroy these markets, no one can stop me. And then you blow your account, and then now you just feel absolutely worthless, and you start questioning like, why am I even doing this, or like what? Like you just go into such a negative headspace, all because of these high expectations that you set yourself because you think that you're better than you really are. And in the beginning you do that a lot because I think that social media can play a part in it, because everyone kind of portrays trading as like this easy get rich quick scheme, and then everyone comes into trading like, oh yeah, I'm gonna make some easy money, these markets aren't anything to me. Yeah, ego. You will never be better than the markets. You will never beat the markets. You will never master the markets. The markets will always have a one-up on you. And once you can accept that as a fact, get rid of your ego and get rid of your pride, then you can start taking the right steps in the right direction to becoming a profitable trader. But it takes you to get over your ego and pride, especially as a man, to start making the right progress and start taking the right steps. Lastly, I wanted to cover greed. And greed is also a very big struggle that I used to have in the past. Over leveraging, having a winning trade and wanting more, just things like that. And as a man, we tend to like to compare ourselves to other people, and we like to measure up, and we always want to feel like we're doing better than others. And when we see other people doing better than us, it makes us feel like less, especially men. When we see other men doing better than we are, it makes us as men feel less, because you start comparing yourself to them and comparing your journey to them and your success to them, to their success, and you won't be in the right headspace to do anything, because at that point, all you're thinking about is P&L or just money. And when you go into the markets with only money on your mind, then you're gonna get manipulated by the markets. The markets will show you what you want to see, and then you get wrecked. That's what happens when you think about money and money only going into the markets. You need to learn how to stay in your own lane, and the best thing you can do to help with that is get off of social media. Like that's number one thing to do, is get off social media. You shouldn't even be on social media for anything unless you are creating content or consuming knowledgeable content on YouTube. But other than that, there's no need for TikTok, no need for Instagram, no need for Snapchat, no need for any of that. You don't need any of that, bro. Just stick to yourself. Worry about you. Worry about your journey, and that's the only thing that's important. And don't think that you have to be doing better than this person for any specific reason, or you see this person doing well and you think that you should be doing that just because you guys trade the same concept, or that you guys are the same age, or you guys trade the same market. Like, no. Stop trying to compare yourself to others, and just be humble and stay in your own lane and do what you need to do. You don't need to be doing better than so-and-so. You don't need to be doing better than this person, because as long as you're able to achieve success in your definition, as long as you're able to wake up Monday and not have to clock in at 7 a.m., 8 a.m., then what's wrong with that? If you're making $4,000, $5,000 a month off trading, and you see some guy getting 50K payouts last month, you feel like shit because you see his success and you think that should be you. But in reality, some guy clocking in at their 9-to-5 corporate job is looking at your success, and they're like, damn, bro, I wish that was me. So it's kind of just like a continuous like ladder of people looking up at other people's success, and that is just the trap that a lot of people live in, and they are never fulfilled. They're never satisfied. And you have to realize that, where are you at right now in your journey, and where would you like to be in your journey, in your eyes? What is this success defined? How is success defined to you, by you? And to me, as long as I'm not, working a job or doing anything, then I'm chilling, I'm successful. Obviously, I want to do more. Like, I want to like travel and do, like get a nice apartment, nice car, but all that will come with time. But where I am right now, I'm perfectly fine. I have my own things going on, and I don't need to clock into a job in order to survive. And I think that is a blessing. So, I can sit here and pout because I'm not getting, 100K payouts, 50K payouts, but I'm fine. I'm not complacent with where I am, but I am happy about how far I've became in my journey, because I've came a long way in my own personal journey. And don't compare your step 10 to someone's step 1000. Like, you don't know what someone else has gone through to get to where they are now. So don't compare your journey to someone else's journey. Yeah, I don't really have much else to say, but I hope you guys learned something from that video and enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments if I made any sense to you men, and also any women that are watching this, let me know if you were able to relate to anything that was said. I'd be very interested to hear about that. And yeah, if you're new, subscribe, join the Discord, and I will see you guys next time. So be safe.